Hello everybody, welcome to this verbing class. My name is Teacher Amy and today's class is a speaking class on the topic of leadership. So we're going to be looking at an article by a very famous, I'm not sure what to call him, maybe a philosopher or a spiritual teacher or something, Deepak Chopra. And he's written an article called 10 Things You Need to Know to Be a Conscious Leader. Actually, it's not by him, but it's on his website, sorry. So we're going to use that this morning just to talk about this idea of leadership, not just about leading other people, but in the ways that you are perhaps a leader in your own life. So it's going to be an interesting discussion. Do come on in and join us if you've booked a slot, and if you are unable to join us because the class is full, then please join us by watching along, and you can comment in the chat box as we go through our discussion today. So, before we get started, I'm hoping the chat box is going to load up because I would like to share some pages with you. The first page that I'm going to share is my Facebook page, and that's a good way of just keeping in touch with people as we go through our weeks learning English here on Verbling. If you're interested in keeping your eye out for interesting stuff, finding out what the teachers are doing and keeping in touch with other students, then Facebook is a great place to go. And if you would like to have some more information about any of the teachers that you see here on Verbling, then the best place to go is to their teacher page. I'm going to paste the link in the Verbling chat box there. If you go to my teacher page, and the same as all the other teachers, what you will find is several useful things. Firstly, you can see who I am, a bit about me as a teacher, and watch some of my videos if you want to get a better idea of what my classes are like. You can also see my calendar, so if you're interested in attending one of my classes, you can see when they're going to be. And if you're interested in private tutoring, you can see slots that are free there as well, so that's a really useful thing. And finally, if you do have any more questions about anything, you can get in touch with me using the messaging feature that you'll also find there on the Verbling teacher page. So this is the same for all the teachers. Do go ahead and find out a little bit more about us when you have some spare outside class time. Okay, with that behind us, let me remind you, today's topic is leadership. So if you have booked a slot, do come along in. We're going to get started and say hello to our lovely students. So who do we have here first today? We have Omnia. Hello, Omnia.
Hi, how are you, Amy?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Fine.
Wonderful. So, Omnia, when you hear this word leadership, what do you actually think of? What comes into your mind straight away?
It's hard.
Nothing.
It depends. If you're talking about jobs, I will remember my ex-leader.
Okay. Well, I guess what the topic really is today is sort of the general idea of leadership. So we might have like a traditional view of what a leader is or who a leader is. Maybe you think of, you know, Barack Obama or something. But I think that leadership is a little bit more widespread than that. And I think sometimes, personally, there are people who just go about their daily lives and sort of act as if they are leaders in some way or another. So I'm just going to ask everybody what comes into their mind when they think about leadership, just as a sort of direct reaction. Is it Barack Obama? Is it your mum, maybe? Maybe your dad is the head of a company. Maybe your little sister, I don't know, bosses people around and she's going to turn into an amazing leader. What is it that comes straight into your mind when you hear that word? So is there anything for you, Omnia? Does it give you a mental picture of anything?
I lost my ex-leader in Turkey. He was good leader. For me, he was the ideal leader I have.
Awesome. Why? What made him a good leader from your point of view?
He was take responsibility. If he take bad decisions, he don't come and say and blame us. He know what he doing, and he want be everyone in team be happy. Don't punish us more.
Okay.
To work So that was good for me.
Okay, that's a really good start. Thank you, Omnia. That's
What's
a
his
really good
name?
start. Did you hear
What's
Dennis's question? No, I don't think so. Omnia, Dennis just asked what's his name? What's the previous leader of Turkey's name?
Isa. Isa.
Do you know him, Dennis? I don't recognize the name. I don't know much about Turkey's politics, but I'm taking your word for it, Omnia. Perhaps you could type it into the chat box. I'm finding that my Verbling chat box is not actually working today, guys. So for the moment, I'm just going to use the Google chat. So if you could just keep your eye on that. I've written down taking responsibility as the first thing that Omnia has mentioned as kind of an important thing that perhaps leaders should do. So thank you, Omnia. That was difficult for you starting us off, but well done. Welcome to the class. Okay, Mulham, how are you today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Excellent. You've changed your picture.
Yeah. I think 2 days or 3 days ago.
You changed
Yeah.
it 3 days ago. Okay, so
Yeah.
why did you choose this new picture, Mulham?
Because I got bored of the old one and this one looks awesome.
It is cute. All right, so welcome to the class. I'm going to ask you the same question. What pops into your mind when I say to you leadership?
Authority and power.
Okay, interesting. I'm going to type these little ideas down so that we can have a little look at them as we go through the class today. Why do you think authority and power pop into your mind, Mulham?
I think because they are the main point, the main things that makes a good leadership.
Okay.
The main points, the main characters that distinguish a good leadership from bad leadership, because they are essential.
Okay, so the two essential things about a leader are authority and power. So if you're looking for, you're struggling a little bit for a word there, you could say something like characteristics, maybe attributes, possibly skills if you consider them to be skills. I don't know whether you consider them to be something that you learn how to do or whether perhaps some people have a natural ability. What do you think, Mulham?
No, I think like for power, and no, there are actually learned behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Of
All
course,
right.
they can, like some people are naturally born with those characteristics, but it can't be learned.
Okay. Very interesting. Thank you, Mulham. That's another great little wisp of information. Welcome to the class. Let's say hi to Matthew.
Hey, Amy.
Hello,
Actually, I
Matthew.
asked a question.
Was it you? I thought it was Dennis. You
Yeah.
have a very similar voice to another student called Dennis. Apologies, Matthew. How are you? I haven't seen you for
Oh,
ages.
yeah. You never seen me at all, actually.
I
I
I
mean,
haven't ever. I've never met you before.
no. Never seen my face. What I mean.
Oh, I was going to say, yes, I definitely have met you before, but yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
seen you. Okay, so what can I say
Yeah.
then? I haven't heard you for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm very good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. You're certainly keeping me on my toes. Um, have you been busy, Matthew? Have you been studying, or what have you been doing lately in your life?
Well, like yesterday, I've met some Americans, and there was like one British, and we stayed like we drank beer, like we were speaking in a bar, yeah. And the British one said like, "Whom?" I said, "Whom? You shouldn't use whom. Whom is outdated. You should say only who." And he said, "What?" And we said like, "Let's ask American one." And we asked the American one, and that confirmed that they don't use whom in American English.
Yes.
And
Well,
they were like surprised how like me, native knows these kind of things. And I was thinking, Verbling paid me off, or what do you say? Verbling lessons paid off.
Verbling
So
lessons have paid off. That's a very well. To be honest, Matthew, yeah. The reason why people don't use whom, and when I say this, I'm talking about native speakers, is because nobody really understands when you're supposed to use it. Except if you are a top English university student or something like that, then you will use it all the time. But most normal people, I have to admit this, do not use the word whom because they get confused about it, which is understandable. It's not, yeah, that's probably why he says it's outdated, because not many people in normal life actually say that word. Very
no,
true.
I said.
Oh, you said it.
I said to the British one person because he said whom. Like we played the game, like he brought the game, like you write Mad Libs.
Oh,
Do you know this
okay, I
game?
see.
And there is like whom question. And I
Yeah.
said, no, you shouldn't say whom, you should say who. And he said like, what? I said, that's like old-fashioned word, whom. And he didn't, he said, no, we use, and I said, let's ask the American one, like person
Okay.
from that. And we asked, and that person said, like, no, we don't use. Like he confirmed in some way.
Okay. Well,
So I was like the star.
you were okay. That's awesome, Matthew, and that's why you said your verbling lessons have paid off, right?
Yep. Because I was at the level that so the British person, like he was like confused about whom, but I wasn't. I was like, I knew about that.
Awesome. Well, I think lots of people are confused about whom, so he's not the only one. But well done for having an awesome English-speaking practice time outside of class. All right. So, Matthew, what do you think about leadership?
Well, comes to mind like Bill Gates, for example, and for example Larry Page. Do you know who is Larry Page?
I've heard of him. No, I have no idea. Who is he?
So he's the CEO of, I think CEO or president of Google.
Oh, okay. I probably should know him then. All right. So when you think of leadership, you think of particular people, right?
Yeah, for example, Bill Gates, just because these two companies like Microsoft and Google, they are some companies in this area, and I think it takes some leader. You should be a good leader to deal with this stuff and to have your companies to be leaders on the market.
Absolutely true. I couldn't agree more, Matthew. All right, thank you for that. Welcome to the class.
Thanks.
Who else do we have here? Luis, how are you today? Are you there? No? All right, I will come back to you, Luis, and I'll go on to Israel. How are you today?
Very good, teacher.
Very good. Excellent. That's good to know. Why very good? Did something particularly good happen to you today?
No, not exactly, but I feel good because I was in the doctor's appointment this morning, and everything was great.
Excellent. You've been checked out and given the stamp by the doctor to say that you're perfect and in good health.
Yes. I only checked my vision.
Oh, okay. You just had an eye test.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad to hear that your eyes are good, Israel. That's awesome. So, what do you think about leadership?
Hello.
What pops into your mind?
Leadership. Leadership for me is like create, motivate, manage, coach,
Did you say
Consider that.
create, motivate, manage, and
Coach.
coach?
Yes,
Awesome. I love those words.
yes. A
Okay.
leader is a person who has a vision,
Mhm.
uh, a drive, and a commitment to achieve that vision,
Okay.
and the skill to make it happen.
Okay. Awesome description. Thank you, Israel. Um, So you've gone for a little bit more of a sort of general description, a bit like Omnia, about what type of person, what type of skills or attributes a leader would have. Awesome, thank you. Welcome to the class. Let's just see if Luis is back yet. Luis, are you
I,
there?
I think
Yay! You think you are? I think you are too. I can hear you now.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Wow,
Welcome. Nice to
that's
see you.
okay.
How are you today?
I'm fine, teacher. Thank you.
Awesome. So tell us, Luis, what do you think about leaders?
And above all that people are saying, I should say that show the direction. Uh, he take the he take ahead of the group, and he like everything that comes. He gets first. If it's good things, he earns, and if it's bad, he also gets the bad things to everybody first. Should be at least.
Okay, I like that. So I'm going to put faces everything first, good or bad, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Do you have any particular people in mind when you think about leadership?
Today, I think is Barack Obama
Hmm.
is very balanced leader. I think he's doing a great job for United States, for the world as well.
All right, excellent. I will put Barack Obama in here, along with Bill Gates and Larry Page. Thank you, Luis. Welcome.
Okay.
Okay, Carlos, hello.
Hello.
I haven't met you before, have I?
No, I think it's the first time.
All right, well, very nice to meet you.
Thank you. Same for me.
Welcome to the class. What do you think about leadership, Carlos?
The first thing is for me is president, prime
Okay.
minister, president,
Yeah.
prime minister,
So you
control,
think, mm-hmm.
extroverted person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting choices. So you think about leading countries when you think about leadership straight away.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, because well, the president is in charge of the whole country, so I guess that's important.
Yep, absolutely. Where are you from, Carlos?
Argentina.
Okay. So what do you think of do you have a president or a prime minister?
We have a president. It's a woman,
Okay, what do you think of your president? What's her name?
Christina. I don't like her at all. I don't know.
Why not? You don't think she's a good leader?
No, she's not. No, because she
Okay.
stole a lot of money and she's a liar.
Oh, so that means that we need to be honest if we're a leader, right? Possibly.
Well, I didn't vote for her.
Okay, okay.
She
So,
won anyway.
yes, well, obviously other people voted for her. I think
54.
sometimes with countries, you know, you only get a certain choice, right? And sometimes you don't really feel like voting for anybody. I don't know whether
Yeah.
that's happened to you before. It's
Yes,
definitely happened to me.
it's very common.
Unfortunately. All right. We're going to come back to that discussion, Carlos, because that's an interesting one. Thank you for sharing with us, and welcome. Okay, Bali, hello.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Where are you from, Bali?
I'm from Turkey.
Okay, excellent. So you must know who Omnia is talking about, your previous Prime Minister?
We have a prime minister. Also, we have mm, president. We can say.
Okay, so you have a prime minister and a president. Tell me what you think about leadership.
Leadership is need to have a vision and foresight, strong character, also control his or her behaviors, and balance to the different groups, and also might have skillful, and you have to have different capabilities.
Okay. Nice list there. I'm just typing down the ones that we haven't got yet already. So when you say different capabilities, what do you mean, Barley? What kind of capability?
For example, leadership. I talk about if you're managing a company, you have to know the monitoring issues, and you have to economic issues and human sociology and good relationship with other people, and you have two different features to manage this company. Also, if you're leader of the country, you have to know some technical issues, also social issues, because you need to act different type. For example, in my country, there are different groups, social groups. So you have to balance, and you have to know all kind of social groups features.
Okay, that's a really good point. So being able to, well, understand, I suppose, the points of view of many different groups of people.
For example, in Turkey, there are lots of ethnic groups, social groups, religious groups, and also economic growth. So you have to know economic. You have to have economic capabilities, and also you know something about the technique issues.
Okay, really good point. Thank you very much, Barley. Welcome to the class. Okay, and Ahmed, hello.
Hello.
Have we met before, Ahmed? I think I
Yes.
recognize your picture. Yeah, okay, so how are you doing?
I am doing well, yeah.
Excellent. Really nice to see you again. What do you think about leadership?
Decision maker, team working, and responsibility. Yeah.
Okay, decision making, teamwork. I like that because it might not necessarily be the thing that comes straight to mind when you think about a leader, because you sort of think of them, I guess, to be a one-off person, right, at the head of the group. Why did you choose teamwork?
As I became the leader in a small company, or in our class in university, I found that the most important capability that you be able to work in a team. Because at the end of the day, you are not a leader. Because you give orders. You should work with your team members. You should share your ideas. You shouldn't be aggressive. So this skills under the team working, yeah.
That's a really good point. Thank you for bringing that up. Awesome. Okay, so we've got, guys, a bit of a summary of what people in this class right now think about leaders. So keep your eye on the Google chat. And we are going to have a look at an article in a moment. But before we do that, we've been thinking about leaders as a sort of abstract idea so far, and we've been thinking of other people who we think are leaders, or the skills that we believe leaders should have, in a sort of abstract way. What I want you guys to do now is to think about a way in which, in some part of your life, or maybe to a particular group or to one person even, how are you a leader? In what way are you a leader? I think that everybody is in some way a type of a leader. Obviously, none of us are the Prime Minister. But I think, for example, being a teacher, which is my job, is in some way a leadership role, because you have to lead the class. I suppose it's a different way of looking at leadership. So I'm going to ask anybody who would like to answer this one first. I am going to come to all of you. But has anyone already thought of the way that they are a leader in their own life? I can hear some umming and ahhing.
Could you
Go for
repeat
it,
your
Bali.
question again? Could you repeat your question again?
Yep, I would like to know, in what way are you personally leaders in some way in your life? So I'm just thinking of perhaps we call this leadership role by another name. For example, a teacher. A teacher's obviously there to teach, but I think also lead in some kind of a way. So is there a way in your life that you act as a leader to somebody or a group of people? You might have to think about this for a moment. Anyone got any ideas?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I can say. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Barry.
Bali, then Ahmed. Let's go.
Your turn, Ahmed.
So you go first, Bali.
Okay, thank you. I'm a manager of the. I'm working in a company, and I'm working as a manager of the big group. So there are different type of people there are in my group. So I am very patient, and I have to keep my behavior when some of my staff doing some wrong things. So I believe that every people have different characters, different psychologists. So I am a strong, strong behavior that I am very patient, and the people do some wrong things.
Okay, so you have to, as a manager, your role incorporates different things, and sometimes you have to deal with negative situations or bad behavior or that kind of thing.
Also, if some people have any hardness for his or her job, I also help, and I help organize the group and to solve this problem and help this guy.
Okay, any difficulty? If they have a difficulty. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Bali. That's a great start. So a manager of a group within your company. Awesome. Thank you. Let's hear from Ahmed.
Yeah. In my case, it's like in our university we have a projects of teams of 5 members or 4. So me with my teammates, we have to accomplish a task. We have to finish a project. So we have to choose a leader. So they chose me. Sometimes you need to organize things. You need that we wanna catch something in that time. After that, we will catch that. Sometimes you end up that you didn't finish something in its right time. So you have to take a decision. Yeah, and you have to motivate the people. We won't finish it. We want to do our best. Yeah, it's like that.
Okay, so one of the biggest things is to make sure that your team meets the deadlines, Ahmed.
Uh, yeah, this is one of the biggest problem. Yeah, because you know our human being that if you have a leader, then you let everything and say he will do those things, he will do this stuff. Yeah, you will end up that you have to motivate them to work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, awesome example. Thank you, Ahmed. So motivation and meeting deadlines is probably the biggest thing for you. Let's ask Matthew. Matthew, in what way are you a leader in your life?
Well, I think I'm not leader at all. So I'm kind of average Joe, and I don't have any leader qualities.
Really?
And
That's
I'm
hard
very
to believe.
humble. And I'm very humble. So
Okay, so that's very important.
yeah, for a leader to be humble, not overestimate, yeah, or not over appreciate. Can I say over appreciate?
Over appreciate.
What I
Not a
mean
word. You can say it.
or what I mean that to
Explain. Yeah.
over like so basically when I'm talking only about me and I'm saying that I'm too smart, I'm very smart, I'm very beautiful, not beautiful, handsome, things like that. So I'm over what? Over? How would you say with over?
You would say you're a little bit boastful or arrogant. I'm not sure if you'd say over anything.
Yeah, no, I over my qualities.
Overestimate your quality.
Okay. That's what I was thinking.
So you don't overestimate your qualities, clearly, Matthew, because you don't believe that you're a leader in anything. I don't agree with you. I'm sure there must be one area in your life. Even if I think about just verbling classes, in a way, sometimes you're a leader within a verbling class. As a student, I know that. Because you speak out really well, and not all students do that. So I'm going to put that.
Well, and after I drink some alcohol, I'm become a very good leader. What I meant that yesterday when I was like with those like English speakers, I drank a little bit and I was like like laughing out loud.
Overconfident. Then you were overconfident.
Yeah, like I was like I'm American. I was like so. No,
right.
but really, like I would say that I am kind of leader in my job, maybe. So basically, I know lots of things about that, and because of that, I do everything right, and it's kind of a leadership, kind of.
Yeah,
So.
Absolutely. Well, that's what I'm asking, really. I think everyone in some way. If you have a lot of knowledge, then I guess some people will come to you to ask you things that they don't know, right?
Yep.
Does that happen? There you go. All right, good. I'm happy about that. Excellent. Thank you, Matthew. Let's see what Luis has to say.
Teacher, I think in my job I do some kind of advising because I do websites, so the companies hire me to give pieces of advice about how to make his presence in internet.
Okay. Yep. All right, definitely. So I'm going to put expert advice in websites. To Miss DS out there. Thank you, Louise. Awesome. Omnia, how about you?
I was a leader in my university.
Okay.
I was lead not the project, but lead a sub team in my graduation project.
Okay. Awesome. How did you find the experience? Was it easy, difficult, exciting, challenging?
It was easy when I manage my team, but when I'm going to speaking with others team, there was some problems and a lot of negotiation between teams.
All right, negotiation, awesome word, definitely. I think that's always a big part of leadership, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Omnia. Who else haven't we asked yet? We haven't asked Israel.
Hey, I'm a modest person, but I try to to be a leader and in my college.
Okay.
I sometimes I try to motivate uh, my classmates and inspire about how to engage with the class.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Israel. That's wonderful, and um, that always makes the teacher's job a lot more fulfilling and easy. So we always appreciate students like you. Okay, last but not least is Carlos. Tell us, Carlos, how are you a leader in your life?
Well, I have been playing bridge for almost 20 years now, and I have been
Wow.
selected the captain of the Argentina junior team.
Wow.
Well, I am sort of leader for them because I train them and they learn, they improve their bridge thanks to my experience and my bridge level. So in a way, that's my part.
Okay, that's awesome and very unique, shall I say. I don't think anyone else has mentioned that kind of leadership, but it's really important leadership of like sports teams or other kinds of teams like bridge. All right,
Yeah.
guys, we're gonna have a yeah. Go ahead, Carlos.
No, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
I was just gonna say we're gonna have a quick look at this article now. So if you would like to load it up in your window, you can. There's the link.
Emia, what about you? What you are leader in besides classes? Any types of classes?
Good question, Matthew. I would say I'm a leader in my community with music because one of the things that I do outside of my job is to direct children's musicals. So yeah, that's what I do outside of Verbling.
That was a little lie.
Not at all. I can send you a photo
Yeah.
of proof if you like.
No, you should look
Absolutely
when
true.
you told that you scratched your eye.
I
You kind
scratched
of
my
didn't.
nose like this.
I know. Yeah, you didn't believe in what you're saying.
Well, it is absolutely true. I can swear that is what I
Okay,
do.
I
So,
apologize.
no problem.
Thanks.
All right. Let's have a look at the article because I think the reason why I asked you all what it is that you lead in your life is because I think it makes it more relevant when you read an article like this. If you're thinking of ways that you can apply it, and also if you're maybe thinking this is a load of BS, um, you've got some kind of ways to apply this or compare it. So this is from a kind of a spiritual guy website, I guess. Deepak Chopra is sort of a spiritual leader. It's actually by another lady called Cindy, but she writes about 10 things you need to know to be a conscious leader. I don't know whether there's a difference between being an unconscious leader and a conscious leader. I hadn't thought about it before, but we're going to read a bit and see what we think. So we're going to start off with Ahmed. Could you read the first paragraph for us, please?
Okay. From the moment that we are born, uh, we learn about survival in the form of gratification, validation, and punishment from our parents or guardians, who serve the role of authority figures. In turn, we become conditioned to react to other authority figures, including our teachers and managers. We react with discipline, and obedience, or with defiance,
Defiance.
defiance, depending on how we learning to process, uh, digest, and deal with the authoritative figures at early age.
Well done, Ahmed. There's a couple of long words in there. We're just going to read a tiny bit more, and then we'll check that everybody's following. So, Barley, could you take the we wind up paragraph? Are you there, Barley? Nope. Okay, I'm going to ask Carlos instead. Carlos, could you do the we wind up conditioned?
From we wind?
Yes, please.
We wind up conditioned to seek guidance externally from those informal authoritative roles, rather than tuning into our intuition to find the answers to our questions. We may begin to dismiss our own ideas because we believe that we don't have the title or the credentials to make important decisions.
Thank you. Stunning reading. Israel, with this. Are you there, Israel? No? That's strange. Okay, Luis?
Okay, teacher. With this, we sometimes silence our own voice and forget what it means to be a leader, even a leader of our own lives. This can lead to a loss of power, inability to change not only in your surroundings but also within.
Thank you. And Matthew? From Conscious.
Yeah, conscious leadership requires reframing this story. It not only develops critical skills but also internal soul formation. With this process comes the responsibility of reflecting about one's personal vision. When we become truly aware of what it is that we desire to achieve in our lives, we give ourselves permission to fully step into the space of infinite possibilities where the unknown is our ally and not our enemy. We take ownership of our own life story and begin to make the appropriate changes and decisions to lead an intentional and inspired life. Once we are able to truly guide our own lives, we can guide, yeah?
Yeah, guide. Well done.
Yeah, guide. I didn't read the text so much. So we can guide others along their paths.
Thank you, Matthew. Good reading. This word here is ally. The emphasis comes on the first syllable, okay? Yeah.
Ally.
Yeah.
Not ally.
Yes.
Ally. Okay.
Ally. Ally and enemy. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so just before we talk about this for a moment, are there any questions about vocabulary? Do we understand everything there? Anybody got any questions? No, I think it's quite straightforward. Okay, if you do think of one, let me know. So, this is a different perspective of leadership, I think, and it's looking straight at ourselves rather than outwards to somebody else. I'm going to ask, let's see, Omnia, what does it say about what we learn to do when we are younger from this first paragraph?
We're learning to survival and form of gratification, validation, and this, and and mm, and we become we punishment from our parents and guardians.
Are you still there, Omnia? Oh, she's disappeared. That's unfortunate. Okay, she was explaining it really well. Are you there, Omnia?
Yes,
Okay.
verbally crash all the time.
All right, carry on, because I was just interested in listening to what you were saying. Keep going.
I forget what I said.
So, explaining what it tells us really in the first paragraph.
This paragraph talking about when we born, we learning about survival and punishment from our parents, guardians, who serve as a rule of authority figures.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. Cool. This part I think is funny. It says we react with either discipline and obedience or defiance, depending on how we learn the process. What kind of a kid were you, Omnia? Did you try to rebel against your parents, or were you very disciplined and obedient?
No, I was a hard child.
So you were one of the defiant children.
From the first time I make what I want. My mother helped me in that.
All right.
I don't listen to anyone actually. I make what I want.
Okay, so that's interesting because that's sort of, it's saying here that, well, we'll look at the second paragraph and have a think about it. So, Ahmed, what does the second paragraph tell us? What's it saying that happens to us? Are you there, Ahmed? No? I wonder if people are having a couple of connection problems. This is a little bit strange. Let's see if Israel's there. Israel? All right. So I think we're struggling a bit with verbling today. Are you able to give me your feedback on the second paragraph? What does it say that we do?
Let me see. It said that we and when seeking the in other part uh, to turn out well, I don't understand very well this paragraph.
Okay, so let's have a look at it carefully, Israel. So what it says here basically is that we wind up or we end up after we've grown up. We've been trained or conditioned to find the answers or to seek guidance to things externally. So we don't ask ourselves, we ask other people, or we try to find out answers from other sources instead of tuning into our own intuition or maybe thinking about ourselves and thinking that we actually might know the answer already. And it says that we might dismiss our own ideas because we think that we're not really experienced enough, we don't have the credentials, we don't have the abilities to answer our own questions. Okay, so let's ask Matthew. What do you think of that, Matthew? Do you think that you always seek guidance externally, or do you like to figure out life for yourself?
What exactly life did you say?
Yeah.
What do you mean by life?
I suppose it could be anything really. When you have a problem or when you're not sure exactly what to do, What do you do about it? Do you go and read books and ask people, or do you sit down and think, okay, Matthew, what do I think about this?
Okay, the thing is that the best approach is to I come to this approach like by my experience. So basically, if you are not expert in something, you shouldn't decide by yourself, because okay, you would not choose the best option. And it's better to read all the thing, to get information from various sources, and after that to decide based on that information. Because if you decide on your poor knowledge, you'd end up with the result that is like not the best.
Okay, good point. I really like that idea. It brings up the other idea in my mind, though, of what about something that perhaps is really only related to you, something personal, like a personal decision, like perhaps should I take this new job I've been offered, or should I stay with the job I'm in at the moment? Do you think it's possible to find answers to that outside of yourself, like ask people who are experts? What would you do in that situation?
Well, definitely I would decide based on my what do I think about that job. For example, if I like that job or if I don't like, so what's the responsibility, salary, and things like that. So on various factors, I would consider lots of things, and definitely I would decide maybe by myself, because if I need an advice, for example, from you about the job opportunity, that means that I am kind of how do you say when you're not sure, like you are what?
When you're not sure.
Yeah.
What do you mean exactly?
So
Indecisive? I'm not
yeah,
sure what you
indecisive.
mean.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
say this way. I'm kind of indecisive, or something wrong with me if I need an advice like from someone. Like that means I shouldn't change anything. So
Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting perspective. Thank you, Matthew. So I think this is sort of you're agreeing with the article in a way, that you do have to listen to yourself and not just like, go around asking people all the time about things that are really related to you.
definitely, I would
Yeah.
recommend to you to do the same.
All right, so we're going to have a quick look at some of these things that this person thinks you need to cultivate in order to be a conscious leader. So I want you guys to, we're only going to have time to do one or two of these. So see if you can apply them to the way in which you've told the class that you are a leader in your life. So I'm going to see if Carlos is still there. Are you there, Carlos?
Yeah.
Woohoo! Okay, so could you read number 1 for us, please?
Yes. Create your personal vision statement. Before creating a vision for others, leaders must create a vision statement for their own lives. In order to do this, you must ask yourself, what is my personal vision? How do I intend to connect my heart, head, and hands to make this vision a reality? How will I share my gifts with the world?
Keep going.
If you listen closely, you might be able to encounter that which you were put on earth to fulfill as your life's purpose of Dharma.
Okay, so do you understand what this is saying, Carlos?
When I was concentrated,
On the
sorry,
reading.
no, I wasn't paying attention just to try to pronounce correctly. Sorry.
Yes, I know, that's all right. That happens all the time. I'm going to come back to you in a moment. I'm going to ask Louise.
I have to read it again.
Reread it, yeah. So Louise, what do you think of this number 1? Do you have a sort of personal vision for your life yourself, and does this come through when you are working as a leader in your job?
Yes, teacher, I do. I always try to achieve goals and have a strategy to go towards what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's kind of make a vision real.
Okay, awesome. So what would you say is the most important thing about your personal vision? Would you say, from what you've just said, maybe persistence or determination, something like that?
Yes, I think I don't care about the people who criticize me. I
Okay.
always go on,
Mhm.
and I never leave. I try to cheer up myself all the time, even if people don't say, "Oh, you'll not get that job, you'll not get something." I try to be really to be focused in what I want.
All right, and maybe self-motivated by the sounds of things.
Yeah,
Okay, that's awesome. I think
because
that's very difficult. Yeah.
I I am doing my second bachelor degree,
Mhm.
and I am not too young anymore, but I want change my profession, and maybe people don't understand, but I must do what I believe is the
Absolutely.
right.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you, Luis. What about you, Carlos? Have you reread it yet?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so how does this relate to your own life? Do you think that this is important in perhaps the way that you lead with your bridge?
Uh, no, not really. No, no, no. It's
Okay,
not,
why not?
not, not because I just teach in a technical way
Mhm.
the game.
Um,
A little about like they should be calm at the table, for example, but not more than that. That's the only thing.
okay, so most of your leadership is focused on technical skills rather than sort of general attitude or whatever.
Yeah, they should. No, you should be calm. They shouldn't be intimidated by the opponents. But that's it.
Okay. All right, we're going to ask the other two. So, Omnia, what about you? Do you think this was important when you were at university?
Yes.
In what way?
If I have a vision of life or how I can manage my life and my personal goals as- and and these things, I can make my team control their life well and make their job and their life better.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not the leader shouldn't be just technical or give orders and these things. Sometimes he needs to talking with his team about life, about a vision of a life and how they can mm, react with things, situations, and
Mhm.
that to make their attitudes more uh, good. You understand me?
Absolutely. More positive. Yeah, a great point. Thank you, Omnia. Okay, Matthew, last word for the class today. What do you think? This is
About what?
relevant to you? Is this personal vision idea, is this relevant when you are, I say at work, when you're sharing your knowledge with other colleagues?
So what's that personal vision?
Good question. What is a personal vision? You tell me.
No, I do not know. So
You can't
it's
answer. I think what it is, Matthew, is the way that you view your life and how the important things to you in your life, and whether or not you share these when you're leading or whether you keep them to yourself, sort of thing.
oh my God, that's a question, a really complex question. I think it's okay. If I share some beliefs, I share some ideas, I expect that other people at least share kind of the same, not very far away. For example, if I think that people should be friendly and they shouldn't kill each other, it would be weird to hear from you, for example, Amy, to hear that opposite what I said. So I would say, oh my God, something is going to go wrong with Amy.
I'm sure some things are going wrong with me, but hopefully not to that extent, Matthew.
No. That was a hypothetical situation.
An extreme hypothetical example.
Yeah. So
All right.
you can change the name Amy with another person. That was just to give you an idea what I mean.
Yeah, I understand. All right, guys, we're going to have to finish off, unfortunately, because it was a good discussion today. Thanks very much for staying with it. I'm not sure what happened to the other students, whether they got bored or whether they got cut off. It's a bit weird how they suddenly went quiet, but
they went to lead their.
They were so inspired they went off to lead a new country or whatever. Let's hope so, Matthew. If you did have any problems with your connection, guys, please do let Verbling know, because it's a good way of us being able to improve stuff. But anyway, thank you, all of you, for participating. Great discussion today. Take care. I hope to see you all again soon.
You have a good accent.
Bye.
Thank you.
I love
Bye.
it. Bye-bye.